All right, what's up, guys and girls? How's it going? It's Else here. It's been about 3 to 4 weeks since my last video, so sorry about that. The main reason it's been so long is I got busy one week, and then I just haven't been on as much as I used to. Like life's been hectic with getting ready for twins and everything. And when I hop on, I don't really want to do PVE. Like I want to go kill people. And so this new dungeon or the new DLC came out, and I didn't stockpile keys, which was kind of a big mistake because to get the shoulder that I wanted took me 70 keys. And so literally for about the last week and a half, when I have a few hours, I hop on, I switch characters, I do dungeons, I get keys, I open keys futilely to get my shoulder. But I finally got it. Like I said, 70 keys, big pain in the ass. So in the future, I will remember to stockpile keys again. Anyway, this is going to be a build video for my Magic Templar. It's been a while since I posted a build for my Magic Templar. The last one, as you guys know, was Mechanical Acuity and Spinners, and that build was the shit. Like, that was by far the best Magic Templar build that I've ran in a very long time. And they nerfed how Mechanical Acuity works. So no longer as a Magplar with that specific build will it proc on my back bar when I'm acting defensively. So before I could hit Entropy, I could put Reflective Light on a few people. I could go on the defensive, hit Breath of Life, and then it would proc Acuity. And then I could go to the front bar and get off a burst combo with all crit damage. It was very effective. Doesn't work that way anymore. So I needed to adjust my build. I've been working off and on trying to figure out a Magic Templar build since then because that one was so good. The easiest fix, if you guys like running Spinners and Acuity, you guys can absolutely just run Shackle Breaker and Acuity. Or sorry, Shackle Breaker and Spinners. Or you can run Seducer and Spinners. Like, those are going to be good. This one is going a completely different route. So I try to make a light armor build. I found that without Wizard's Riposte or without the other set that gives you resistances, you were just a little too squishy. You could stay alive, but it was really hard to get on the offensive. So wanted the light armor because I wanted the magic recovery, I wanted the reduced cost, and I wanted the increased damage from the spell pen. That didn't work. Every time I tried to go on the offensive, I would either get burst too hard in my burst combo, like I would get bursted down and die in my burst combo, or as soon as I switch bars, I'd lose like half my health, and then I have to go on the defensive, and eventually I ran out of magicka. So we're running this a completely different way. We're going all heavy. Magic Templars, they can be fast with certain sets. They can be kitey. They can do certain things. Typically, they're not, though. They're tanky. They have good healing. They can purify all dots. This is just, I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to take damage, and I'm going to dish damage out. That's what this is. So without further ado, let's dive into the build and go through the gear for those of you who want to see it, and then I'll explain why it works and why I chose the things that I chose. So this is, as I said, it's a heavy armor build. It is lightning staff and sword and board. So we are running 5-piece Black Rose, 3 jewelry, 2 body. Black Rose is right here. Max health, max stamina, max magicka. Increase your weapon and spell damage by 149. Increases the magicka and stamina restored from the Constitution passive ability by 35%. This set's kind of disappeared. It used to be really strong. It's not as strong as it used to be. And so people kind of stopped wearing Black Rose. Constitution passive is a heavy armor passive. So for each heavy piece that you wear, you get 35% more magicka and stamina. Well, we're wearing all heavy to buff this Constitution passive as much as possible. In 7 heavy, compared 7 heavy with Black Rose, we get about 125 or so magicka and stamina recovery wearing Black Rose over something else. So it's already a pretty good 2, 3, and 4-piece set. The 5-piece spell damage is nice. So you get 150 spell damage if it was golded out, and then you get 125 magicka and stamina recovery if you're wearing 7 heavy. So it works out pretty well. It works in mist form. This is, as you guys know, Magplars need stamina recovery to block cast and be annoying, so it works out well for that. We need magicka recovery going into mist form. We'll get returns off of that in mist form, so it's nice for that. I did go, like I said, I went all triune. I have 2 spell damage, 1 recovery. Yeah, And then the other set we're running is Shackle Breaker. So we got a 3-body Shackle Breaker. We got, I'm currently running Vulcan Scoria as well. So we have tri-stats on the legs. I have one on the shoulders, the chest, and the helmet. So we want to try and buff all of our pools as much as possible. And then, yeah, Shackle Breaker, Vulcan Scoria, and Black Rose. So back bars, Shackle Breaker, defending with tri-stat, and then front bar is a sharpened lightning staff. As far as consumables go, again, max magic and magic recovery. I've been running this food for 2 years. If you guys watch my channel, you know why we're running it. It just gives us a lot of max magic and a lot of recovery. We're going to already have a decent amount of health because we have tri-stat everything else. Consumables, we're going to have detect pots for those pesky night blades, and then we're going to run immovable pots. We're going to get a good stam return off of Black Rose in the Constitution passive, so we're just going to run these. That'll allow us to get on the offensive to pop our skills. Alright, speaking of skills, let's dive into it. So this is our front bar. We're running Puncturing Sweeps, Toppling Charge, Purifying Light, Radiant Oppression, Reflective Light, and Eye of Lightning. Now, this is one of the main reasons we're running a lightning staff. This is a top, I know I'm in the sewers right now, but this is a top side, severely outnumbered PvP build. You're going to be able to take a bunch of damage. You're going to be able to, more often than not, get to your Destro staff ultimate, and you're going to be able to dish out a bunch of damage when you pop it. You know, it's just what happens. You can't run away as a Magplar. Somebody sees you waving your hand in the air, you get focused. That's just the way it is. And so this is the way to get those concentrated groups of people on you off of you really quickly or dead really quickly. So run an Eye of Lightning. As far as the gap closer, you know, if you want to switch ultimates and you want to run like Dawnbreaker, or if you want to run, you know, Meteor or something like that, I would switch Toppling Charge and I would go to Flame Clench. That way you get another dot, you get the stun, you know, it's a little bit more pressure. But since we're using Eye of Lightning, it's good to stay in the group. So when they start running, you can kind of stay on top of them. And the other added bonus of Lightning is we get 2 more seconds of the Destro ult, so we apply a lot of pressure for a long amount of time. Back bar, Devouring Swarm. Now you could go, if you're running in a group, you can obviously run, you can run Remembrance, or you can run something like that. You can run Shield ulti, but Devouring Swarm heals you and it dishes out damage. And it's a little bit cheaper than Destro ult, so if you're getting focused really hard and you can't get to your Destro, you can pop Devouring Swarm. It does decent damage, and it heals you, and it allows you to just kind of sustain and stay alive if you need to. It's the oh shit button, basically. Structured Entropy is going to give us our major sorcery, Channeled Focus, Elusive Mist, Breath of Life, and Extended Ritual. As far as our character sheet goes, this is the back bar. 64 points into Magicka. We are a stage 4 vampire. We are running the Atronach Mundus Stone for recovery. We have 1836 Magicka recovery, 34404 max Magicka, and 1738 spell damage. It's not bad. 34.5 max Magicka. It's a little bit, I know it looks a little bit on the low side, but it's enough damage with what we have. As far as our CP goes, we are running 66 into Warlord, 21 Tenacity, 64 Arcanist, 2 into Mooncalf, 81 Shadow Ward, 26 into Tumbling, 64 Ellie Expert, 24 Spell Erosion, 48 Elfborn, 49 into Blessed for those heals, 75 into Thaumaturge. We do have a lot of dots, 51 Ironclad, 50 Resistant, 49 Hardy, 49 Ellie Defender, 2 into Thick Skinned, and 49 Quick Recovery, 10 into Heavy Armor Focus. That is it. So, buffed up. You'll see our stats on our front bar. We have 31,000 spell resistance. I am a Breton. Dark Elf works. High Elf works. All the magic classes work. Argonian works. 26,000 physical. On the back bar, we are over the cap for spell resistance. There's not much we can do about that when we have 7 heavy. 30,000 physical. You guys saw when I'm buffed up. So almost 36 spell. 30,000 physical. Yeah. And keep in mind, we get that extra 125 with Black Rose. So we do have a little bit more sustain in our Magicka and stamina pools, counting our Constitution passive. So that's the build, guys. It's going to function very similarly to all my other Magic Templar builds. It's just we're running a Lightning Staff. Lightning Staff's good for two reasons. Number one, light attacks build ultimate quicker. It gives us more burst. It allows us to sustain easily. And then we also get to run the Destro ult when people want to pile on top of us. So this is our offensive side. Works out very well. I've actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I tried running it with dual wield, and it was good. But the problem is like if you have 4 or 5 people on you and they're beating on you and like you try to run. The problem with a Magic Templar, in my opinion, is the class ultimates just kind of suck for doing damage. So if you want to do damage as a Magic Templar, you got to run like Meteor, you got to run Dawnbreaker, you have to run Soul Assault. And the problem is everybody hates Soul Assault because it's cheese. Dawnbreaker is a physical damage thing, so it doesn't scale as well as it does with stamina classes, so it's not as good on a Magic Templar. People can use it, absolutely, but it's just not as good. And Meteor, you drop the Meteor, you don't have a CC that can guarantee that the Meteor will strike that person. They can just typically block it. As soon as they see it, they're going to know you're going to try and CC them. All they have to do is block, heal, and get out of it. So all those ultimates have their own issues. The other issue with Soul Assault is if you're fighting 5 people and you Soul Assault 1 person, the other 4 are beating on you while you're in a channel. So in a Destro, I can pop it, and then I can go on the defensive if all of a sudden I get hit hard, and I'm still hitting people with the Destro ult. So I can hit a quick Breath of Life, I can switch bars, I can go back on the offensive. Do the same thing with bats. So it allows me to be a little bit more mobile while doing damage. And, you know, let's be honest, when you pop a Destro ult, more often than not, people all go on the defensive. And they start backing up and they start getting out of the way. And if people don't, those are the ones you take out. So, yeah. That's the gist of it. I wanted to show you guys the Black Rose stuff really quick. But if we go into our skills, we show what heavy armor does. Constitution passives right here. You restore 145 magic and stamina when you take damage for each piece of heavy armor equipped. This effect can occur once every 4 seconds. Current bonus 1021. So we get 1021 magic and stamina every 4 seconds. So recoveries every 2 seconds. We divide it by 5. That turns out to 500 recovery. If we take off 1 piece of Black Rose and just put on a piece of heavy, just so I can show you guys what's going on. So we're getting rid of the Black Rose bonus, but we're keeping the heavy bonus. And we go look at heavy, you see that it is 757. So we gain about 300 recovery. Divided by 2 is about 150. So it's not a ton, but it's both pools. It goes through, you don't lose it while you're blocking, you don't lose it while you're in misform. And, you know, Black Rose outside of that is already a pretty good set. So that's why I went this route, guys. I just got tired of just being on the defensive all the time on the Magplar, so I said, fuck it, I'm going to be as tanky as possible, and I'm going to try and dish out, you know, damage while doing that. And this allows me to get to my Destro ult. The light attacks of the Lightning Staff do as well. Like I said, that's for AoE topside. You can obviously adjust this setup to more of a solo style build. Like if you go in the sewers like I am, you can quick put Flame Shock Clench on, you could put Dawnbreaker on, you could put Soul Assault on, you can run Meteor, whatever. You know, those will be a little bit better for smaller scale, but if you're fighting severely outnumbered, you know, 3-4 of these guys together, of this build together, would actually be quite a bit of fun. So I think that's it, guys. If you have any questions, please comment in the section below. I will not take 3 to 4 weeks to post my next video, I promise. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.